This is the strange thing that Advaita points out. It's an enchantment created by language. It's a spell woven by words. Maya works through language. The claim being made here is tremendous, unthinkable. We know what it's saying. You are God right here, right now. Always where you are, always will be. You just don't know it. You see, the important thing here is to understand the characteristic of this absolute reality, the definition of that reality. What do you mean by Brahman? We are using the word Brahman. We are using the word absolute. We are using the word pure consciousness. Once you understand what is meant by that, it will become blazingly obvious that I am that, I was, and all of us are, and we will continue to be. And that solves all of our problems. But it's just that we don't recognize. It's like a person goes to the forest in search of a cow. Now, it is essential that the person knows what a cow is. Otherwise, even if the person finds the cow, what will happen? He won't know that he has found it. He won't know that this is a cow. Or might be in great doubt. Is this the cow? Because the person doesn't know what he has found. Sri Ramakrishna gave an example. It's a mind-blowing concept. If you just know this, enlightenment is instantaneous here and now. You are free forever. Sri Ramakrishna gave a very wonderful example. There was this washerman, and he stumbled upon a shiny stone. And it's a nice stone, very shiny. It's actually a huge diamond, but he didn't know. So he used it to scrub his clothes, which he was washing. One day he thought, it's very nice, and I've never seen a stone like this. Let me take it to my friend who's a vegetable seller. He might know a little more than me. So he takes him to the vegetable seller, take that piece of stone to the vegetable seller. And the vegetable seller looks at it and he says, yeah, this is a weird piece of stone and I like it. I'll give you a bag full of potatoes or brinjals for it. Something worth 10 rupees maybe. And the man was not satisfied, the washerman. He said, let me take it to the jeweler. And finally, the story is that finally goes to a diamond merchant who sees this and he says, my God, this is fantastic. It's the most perfect, biggest diamond I've ever seen. I'll give you 10 million rupees for it. Now, that same piece of stone, which the washerman had, and he thought all that it's good for is scrubbing clothes. The vegetable seller thought it's good for a bag of potatoes or brinjals, or I'll give you 10 rupees for it. And the person who really knows what it is willing to give 10 million rupees for it. It's really worth 10 million rupees because the person has understood what it is. We have that right now. But we are unfortunately like that washerman. We have got that Brahman, pure consciousness, existence, consciousness, and bliss right here. But what are we doing? We are using it to walk and talk and earn money and be miserable and hate people and fight wars and lead our lives and think that we are growing old, that think that we are diseased and think that we will die. I am lonely, I am unhappy, I hate you. This is what we are using it. I think the washerman used it for better than we are using it. We are using this infinite consciousness, which is the mine of infinite bliss. We are using it to make ourselves perfectly miserable. Why? The answer given by Vedanta is Maya. It's right here. And Vedanta is like that diamond merchant who will point out what you have already got. Vedanta will not give you anything new. You've already got it. The washerman's drishti, viewpoint, paradigm about the stone changed completely. It's the most valuable thing that I've ever got in my life. Anybody in our family or in our whole community has ever got. Even a dealer in diamonds has never seen such a diamond. Exactly like that, what we have already got, Vedanta introduces us to it. We don't recognize it because we don't know the characteristics of what we are looking for. We've got it right now. Anybody who has ever been enlightened, who has ever found God, found it in the here and now, found it and said that it's not that I have found something new. It was always there. The enlightened person finds God everywhere, in everything, in every action, is always in place. It does not say, my God is here and my God is not here. No. That person is not fully enlightened. Pratibodha viditam matam. In every experience of life, if you find Brahman, you are enlightened. How is that possible? What is common to every experience of life, to waking, dreaming and deep sleep? Consciousness. You are it. We don't recognize it, and hence disaster befalls us. If you recognize it, if you would just, Vedanta introduces you to yourself. If you would just recognize yourself as what you truly are, Vivekananda would say with pathos, if only you knew yourself as you truly are, it would solve all your problems. There's this story about how many years ago, do you remember General Colin Powell? He was the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces. He was in England at that time, and he was traveling through, but he saw that Professor Stephen Hawking was going to give a talk in an English town. It's a real story, it seems. And so he said, I want to see that. And he has his numerous military people, aides, arrange a flight for me, I'll go there and attend the talk. And they rush to the airport, we'll get our tickets somehow. The flight which will make it to that town in time to hear the talk, it's fully booked. And that lady who was at the counter, she was overwhelmed. She saw all these people with all their medals and very important looking military people, and they're telling her, you must get the general on that plane. He has to hear a talk by Professor Stephen Hawking. It's most important. You have to get the general on the plane. And the poor lady, what could she do? She said, I'll do my best, sir. And she sees all these very important looking military people crowding around her. And she says, okay, I'll bump one passenger of the plane and put him on the next flight, and you go. So the general goes there. When he reaches the place, they say, I'm sorry, sir, we have to cancel the talk. Why? Stephen Hawking couldn't make it because he was bumped off the flight. Because this poor lady didn't know who Stephen Hawking was. She saw this weird and unimportant, sickly-looking guy on a wheelchair. You can go later. You can go on the next flight. The general has to go first. Apparently, it's a true story. I heard it in a management case presentation. Now, not recognizing what happened, introducing you to yourself. That's all that Vedanta does. I'll end with a little story. It's a story, one of those beautiful little stories which the Swamis in the Himalayas have. What does Vedanta do? It's like this. Again, a washerman. This washerman has a donkey, and he loads all the clothes on the donkey and goes to the riverbed. If you've seen washermen in India do that, they will take the clothes there and unload the clothes and wash the clothes and dry the clothes, and they tie the donkey to a nearby tree, and when the clothes are dry, they'll pack it up, load it on the donkey, untie the donkey, go back home. Now this washerman unloaded the clothes, and I was about to go to the river, then he saw I had forgotten to get the rope for the donkey. He said, oh my God, it's a disaster. What if the donkey wanders off and lose the donkey? And so he's in all of a flutter. What do I do now? And then this gentleman is passing by. He sees the washerman in a quandary and asks, what's wrong? This is the problem. The gentleman said, don't worry. Take the donkey to the tree and go through the motions of tying it to the tree. Show it that you're tying it to the tree. The donkey is used to being tied to the tree. So he does that. And he goes through the motions of tying it to the tree. And the donkey, and to his amazement, when he's washing the clothes, he looks back nervously and sees the donkey just munching grass and standing right there. Exactly in the spot where it's supposed to stand. It's been standing for years together. Just there. Creature of habit. He's very happy. And then he loads the clothes back after a day of washing and drying, and he puts in the donkey and tells the donkey, he gives the command, move. And donkey doesn't move. Move. And donkey just shakes its head and doesn't move. And this man thinks that maybe that gentleman did some magic on my donkey. He runs to the gentleman's house and says, this is the problem. What do I do? The donkey is not moving. And the gentleman said, just pretend to untie it. Show the donkey that you're untying it. I said, okay, that's great. He comes back and in front of the donkey, he very ostentatiously, unties it and shows the donkey, yeah, you're free now. Move. And the donkey moves. We are in no better condition than the donkey. You are Brahman, always were, are, and always will be. You are ever free. Nothing in this universe can ever destroy you. You have imagined yourself that you are tied to this tree of samsara. And you behave exactly that as if you are bound to this body and mind. You react as if you are a body. You react as if you are a mind. Who is the you who reacts? Consciousness. With the body and mind. Completely forgotten that you are the ever free consciousness. But you react as if this samsara is real and I am this body and mind in this samsara struggling to make my way. And this little body, immediately you have a vast universe of millions of light years and billions of stars and galaxies. It will come later that it says the universes. It talks about a multiverse. It will come in a verse next. They are all imagined in you, the pure consciousness. The moment you tie yourself to a body, you become a tiny speck of matter in a vast ocean of matter. The moment you tie yourself to your thoughts, you become a delicate stream of thought, prone to being wounded and pleased and made miserable by by a word. Vivekananda says, slave to a good word, slave to a nasty word. We are bound by a little bit of happiness, slave to a little bit of happiness, slave to a little bit of misery. We have enslaved ourselves. We have tied ourselves like that donkey. And what Vedanta does is nothing more than going through the motions of untying the donkey and showing you that you are free. Yes. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.